statewide contracting has felt restrictive for global majority communities probably since it began, period. There is a need for folks in community to know that these opportunities exist. But there's something to be said about how government can be better to make those opportunities more broadly known. And so one thing that has taken place since you and I did the initial work together in that way was an actual statewide contract for media work. So they didn't have that before. And so now through the work of the folks over at the Department of Enterprise Services, or DES, they have now an actual media like list. And while there are some things that I'm like, hey, how did people know about that? Because there's a lot of people that aren't on it right now. And the contract basically says people can apply and they get accepted, right? Some of them get accepted. And they're basically like, hey, we can do direct business with these businesses that have been accepted in this contract when I need this type of work done. And so it ranges from content creation, website development. I mean, it's almost all things multimedia, essentially. So what's being worked on right now is, wait a minute, how do we make that more broadly known? And then how do we eliminate the barriers? Because that contract is like 7 years. So if you didn't get in, you got to wait for 7 years to get in. And how do you know when it's open? So a lot of that stuff is really being worked at, because we recognize that for our small, global majority owned businesses, the understanding of, wait, I'm busy running my business. Like, when would I have time to be checking this website all the time to see if there's anything that applies to my skill set that I can do business with in terms of the state? So we have to be better. And I say we in terms of state government. I think, county and city government, if we can do shared practices, if we can create something that makes sense for folks to use, to your point earlier, then let's do that, right? Let's have a statewide practice of how we work better with smaller businesses and community-based organizations who are brilliant in the work they do. But I'm grateful even more so that the acknowledgement of, wait a minute, this isn't working, right? Sure, people are getting contracts, but is it the same people all the time? And now at this point, is there kind of do they kind of have a monopoly on this contract because they keep getting it all the time? Or government has a tendency to do business with the ones that they know, and how do we get them to move away from that model?